please like and subscribe.
Welcome back to another Crypto Bros
And a Holly Girl.
podcast, Season 2, Episode 57.
You had to look at the board.
No, I didn't.
I saw you glance.
It doesn't even say what it is.
I know, but I saw you glance.
They always harass me.
Yeah,
He
so
did. I know he.
everyone
Holly-
say hi to Cats.
Come on now. Hey, Cats.
Thanks for
Hey.
joining us.
Hi,
Everybody
Cats.
knows who you are, so we're not going to give you this elaborate introduction. But I do want to say
Oh.
congratulations on being the first guest that's been on the program 3 times.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you were kind enough to join us. I don't remember when it was, October-ish.
He's got some hours in
And then
on
you
us.
put in a ton of hours on New Year's Eve when Holly was under the weather.
Yeah.
And now we're happy to have you back on. So thanks for joining us, Cats. We appreciate you.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. It's been a long journey because you guys started a little bit after Mooncast, and then we've halted that for the time being.
Just
To
for
be
us, right?
Continued.
Just so you can be on the show.
Yeah, for you guys.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we can get more views.
But no, hopefully that should come back and
Yeah.
we can have you guys on ours, and we'll do the reverse. So.
Yeah.
That would be
That'd
awesome.
cool. That would be sweet.
We have done that with a couple other programs or coins out there, and it's actually kind of fun to sit on the other side of the table.
Yeah.
Because you just sit back and go, ask me questions. I don't have any secrets, you know. So it's kind of fun.
transparent as
So
hell.
that would be awesome for sure. All right, so we'll get into some crypto news, which today we're going to keep it a little bit short because we do have Cats on, and we want to take as much time and opportunity to discuss things with him. The first thing we have to talk about is a new crypto token that's out there that just happens to be called Crypto Bros. So there's the original chart, probably somewhere around the part where Holly bought in.
So, yeah.
For the record, before we go any further, we have nothing to do with this. We just happened to find it. We don't support it. We don't tell you to buy it. It's not ours.
No.
We just thought it was funny that it was up there. Holly, how's that token doing now?
It's not doing great.
Oh, so you didn't double your money?
Yeah. So I bought in about where the chart is. If you were to look at it today, I'm not even 100% sure it's still going. Because my $200 is now worth 25, and so that is kind of scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't recommend buying into it. I actually stumbled across it because there was a space called Crypto Bros, and I was like, wait, is that my bros? And why is there 5,000 people in there?
And why didn't they tell me?
Yeah, we forgot to tell you. Sometimes, you know.
So I went into the space, and they were like having a lot of fun, you know, and they were like, we're all crypto bros. And it was just kind of cool because, you know, we're the crypto bros. And so that's what I bought in for it for. Wasn't my best decision, but I'm gonna hold it forever because it's ours. So
Even if it rugs.
I think it did. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up because I think it might have.
Does it track on CoinMarketCap?
It does, yeah. So
So when it doesn't anymore, you'll know for sure.
Yeah. How
oh,
is
I
it
guess
in there?
that's true, right? I didn't
Yeah.
even think
Yeah.
about that.
I mean, it's
So,
not
yeah,
always true, but because I have some coins that don't track on CoinMarketCap that I know are still active, but it's a pretty good
Yeah.
indicator.
Yeah.
yeah,
but-
I mean,
I like the off-grid ones.
maybe it has not rugged. I will go and say that,
Okay.
but it's just really down. Like it's 48% down today, and that's not even what it was yesterday or the day before. So, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It was
Does-
just
Now-
exciting because it said Crypto Bros, and I got excited.
Yeah.
Well, and kind of the funny thing about that was too this last week because we always kick around ideas
Yeah.
behind the scenes and just like have fun and joke around. We were joking around about starting our own
Oh Lord,
crypto
Yeah.
for whatever, just
We were.
because it be funny.
we're not
or
doing
whatever.
it, cats. It was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke.
No.
And we didn't even say it on air. This is just like dumb conversations we
Yeah.
have in our driveway
it's
and
a
stuff
sign.
like that. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden we get this screenshot. I was like, somebody stole our idea and our name.
I know. That's what I thought. You guys were playing a joke because
Yeah.
of what we talked about. I was like, no way.
Yeah, no, I was like, this is for real.
was
I
like-
didn't find out till like 10 minutes ago that Holly actually bought into it.
Because I sent you that thing. I thought Josh went and did all this on his own.
No, Josh hasn't got to do that. But
Impressive.
so really, crypto news, we wanted to kind of throw that little funny tidbit out there because it just makes me laugh. Maybe we're the only 4 people that think it's funny, but it is what it is.
That's all right.
Well,
Yeah.
we would have included a Holly Girl. It would have been a long name.
Yeah,
it
Crypto
probably would
Bros.
have some pink in it somewhere or
Some
something like
pink.
that, or
Oh, my
unicorn or
gosh.
something. But so let's just dive into our guest here because there's other things going on, but it's kind of been a weird week when it comes to crypto, and I feel like kind of a recap of that would be a waste, just because it's all going to be changed probably by the time this thing broadcasts. So
The poles are shifting.
so we're just gonna shift to a different gear and get right into it. So, Katz, we're gonna put you on the hot seat.
Ooh.
And we're gonna ask you like a bunch of questions that's gonna get us canceled. Oh, okay. No, we're not gonna. We're not gonna do
Oh
that.
my God.
Okay.
We're not gonna do
It's all
that.
right.
I was like, what the hell?
It's okay.
Katz gets fired.
That's the gloves on.
He's like, I thought we were friends. No, but let's start right out on the biggest news of, honestly, for me, for the week. SafeMoon changing gears and deciding to go from a 10% to the 1% in tokenomics. Is there anything that you want to say about that before I ask you any specific questions?
Yeah, no. So the 1% tokenomic change is the next evolution of SafeMoon as an entire entity of who we are, is the movement to who we are trying to become, which is ultimately the Web3 movement for everyone. That is ultimately what we want to become, and we want to be able to create that interoperability through everything that we do, and this is just the foundations of that.
Yeah, so when it comes to that, when I first read it, I felt like, I know this isn't something they decided at noon and then came out with at 1 o'clock, right? This is something that's been going on for a while, they've been thinking about. But it's conversations that I've heard, well, we've had tons of them behind the scenes about it, that when it comes to mass adoption, that we thought that makes sense. Like, there has to be some change there. So for me personally, and from what I've seen from the Army, it seems like most people are on board with that. Like, they think that's a really good idea. The only thing I've seen negative about it is people trying to decide if they want to buy more SafeMoon now or wait until the 1% comes out. And at first I'm like, I don't understand the question. And then I thought, oh, because if you don't buy it now, the price may be way higher whenever that happens. So to each their own. We're not telling anybody what to do. We have our strategies and we'll execute those, but there are some obvious pros to this move, Katz. You know, just the fee structure itself. Are there any like behind the scenes or pros to that you can elaborate on that maybe the regular holder may not think of, besides just the
Yeah,
difference in
sure.
the percent?
Yeah, so the 10% obviously has the nostalgia of what it represented. And as I said, this is now the change for SafeMoon as a whole. We want to move forward. We want to make, as I said, that interoperability between everything that we do. And this change lays that foundation. So where we can begin to start bringing utility to the token. That was the big thing that a lot of people have been wanting for a long time, not just with SafeMoon, but any sort of new project, whether they're 30 days old or 3 or 4 years in the scenes. They want that utility, and that's a big driver for what is possible for the project. So the 1% does ultimately come in conjunction with the cross-chain bridges. In what we were, well, at least me specifically, I was worried with, how is the community going to take this? How is this change, this massive change, going to be handled by the community? How do they feel about it? And yeah, to my surprise, it is a great change, and it will allow SafeMoon to grow in the future, and it will allow them to progress further forward to who we want to become. So yeah, it's a change that's needed, and it's a change that it's been a long time coming, because it's something that, as you say, hasn't been thrown together overnight. This isn't a quick fix change, just it is what it is. No, this was thought out. It was a process that ultimately needed to come together to lay that foundations to move further forward with the utility. If we were to apply the utility to the cross chain, that 10% fee, or as a total of 20% if you were in and out, is an astronomical fee for something such as cross chain. However, as a 1 to 2% fee is definitely more manageable, and in comparison to some of the other solutions to cross chain, it's more comparable in that sense. So yeah, it's ultimately positive. The only negatives is the sort of the nostalgia of what the 10% represented, but that 10% nostalgia hasn't gone. It's still there, and this opens the door for so many more accessibility as it comes down the line.
Yeah, I think that's important, and most people, I think, realize that in the beginning it was a great idea, right? It was what it needed, because for me personally, I looked at it as they will do this to help the floor price stay, so that people weren't day trading it, and it was new, and they could build up the liquidity. And then it got to the point, like, as everyone evolves in this space, where it was kind of like, what are we going to do with this token? Because I can't use it as currency. I mean, I can, but I'm not going to buy something from Greg knowing that in and out it cost me 20%.
Wait till you see what I'm selling, though.
I don't want what you're selling. I should have used Caleb as an example. But I think that is a good deal. And I like what you said, too, about, worried about how people were going to react and things like that. I had never really thought of that, but of course I'm not in the same position that you are in, or, people that are sitting in Utah. But it's kind of nice to know that people were wondering what that was going to look like. So I have to ask you a follow-up question to that, though, that you said, is it extremely hard for you to know some of these things that are coming and can't say anything about? Or are you used to it at this point?
I suppose I'm used to it at this point, but it is incredibly hard, because my excitement in everything that we want to achieve, whether that takes 30 seconds or 10 years,
right,
it's not about the speed. It's about actually being able to be in a position where, hey, this change came at the right time, or subject to the release of the change, is coming at the right time, because it comes with the utility. It is all coming in coherent with what it is being utilized for. So yeah, it's hard. It is hard. And yeah, I'd love to scream for the hills and say, hey, this is coming, or this looks like this, or we're doing this. And yeah, but at the same time, it helps also evaluate when I see the industry moving forward and what the industry is doing, and how people come up with their own creative solutions for different things. And it has really changed my mindset on a lot of things of how I would have thought about it, 3-4 years ago, when I only just really started to pay attention to DeFi and Web3 as a whole. So yeah, it's hard. It is, but I'm happy, and I'm sure people will, once the visions come together, people will slowly start to build that bigger picture. And with this change, it does now start to paint that picture of what this is now, what is possible for everyone.
Yes, 100%. All these changes that are coming. I mean, we have the taxes coming, the websites coming, the bridges are coming. Like, it's just really exciting. And I feel like you guys really hit us with news, like back to back to back the other day. I was like, holy crap, I can't keep up. But
that's like, what's next?
it's just so exciting to me. Just being a holder for as long as I have, and knowing that you guys can get there. And it wasn't hard for me to hold, because I did see the bigger vision. I did understand, things take time, and you want everything as perfect as it possibly can be before you release it. I'm so proud. I'm so proud because it's like my holding is paying off. Like I just truly believe that. And I mean, even to me, price is nothing. I mean, it is something, but it's not what really like keeps me with SafeMoon. It's the stuff that you guys are building that I look forward to. On the technical side, it's so intriguing to me and I'm so excited for it that like my tokens, yeah, I got them, but I'm excited for the releases of everything that's going to happen because it's just going to contribute to my holdings. So I'm like, I'm just over the moon.
It's
over
the
the
vision.
safe moon.
Over the safe moon.
But it's the vision, right? Like you see what's happening, and then you start to put the pieces together. And then, at least for me, every time I think I have it kind of mapped out, figured out in my head, then different things will happen, whether it's the market or things that the team's doing, that I go, oh, yeah, I didn't even think it that far through. Like, that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking. Because I think sometimes as holders, we kind of get into it and we have that short-term kind of mentality, not necessarily on the holding part of it, but what are you going to do for me next and how is that going to affect price? You know, instead of we're building an ecosystem, and that does take time, but everybody's patient level is different. You know, we've seen a lot of people kind of fall away, and we've seen some people, I saw some this week, like beg to be reaccepted into the SafeMoon army.
I saw that too.
Which I just have to
Like,
say
yeah.
really fast,
Yep.
that cracks me up, right? Just support it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need somebody's permission to support something. Just do it.
Yeah, come back, but just don't say anything.
So I'm
Just
not
sit there.
gonna, we're not gonna spend a lot of time on that, but it was kind of funny. But I can only imagine, Cats, because there are certain aspects in my life where I do know certain things that I can't share even with like my wife. And so I'm sitting there going, when it finally I can share it, I'm like, hey, what do you think? You know, like I'm so excited because now I'm not the only one that knows, or you know, whatever it may be. So I had to ask you that because I was really curious.
Yeah,
Next
my partner's the same with that.
Okay.
Because I sit here going, oh, what are you doing? Oh, and I'm going to work. Oh, and I come upstairs in my office, and yeah, she gets annoyed because it's like all she sees me do is go in a room, and then I come out, and it's like, oh, and it's just a repeat cycle.
Yeah.
And stuff's getting done, and she's like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, work. It's just work. That's all it is. It's just
Yeah.
work.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
Very
I'm sorry.
generic. Yeah, people got to work, right?
So you also were talking, you kind of touched on the bridge. Actually, I think you said bridges. So what can you tell us about that? Because, you know, everybody knows our style. Everybody knows what conversation we have with you. We're not trying to like get you to say anything that would get you in trouble. So without asking specific questions in the beginning, what can you kind of tell us about the bridges?
Well, the 1% ultimately initiates that change and the activation of the bridges. The SafeMoon token becomes that connective piece to move across chains, and it's as simple as this 1% is the utility fee in order to access the cross-chain bridges. So the 1% is the fee to those bridges. So when you're in the SafeMoon ecosystem with the SafeMoon token, that then allows the access to go across any of the chains that are available. We currently have 3 chains. We have Polygon, ETH, and as we originated from, the BSC chain. And you will see over time that this is scalable. And, you know, as and when we're able to do so, it will be able to be scaled across and hopefully as many chains as we can possibly imagine. Obviously, not every chain can be built on. You know, we have like the DOGE chain, for example. You can't really build on that as such in the same way you can with BSC. So, yeah, the 1% initiates that change. That 1% tax and that 1% tokenomics is the fee to access it. And yeah, the only thing you have to use to go across bridges is the gas. You know, the gas is the only fee to go across chain because it's the accessing through the SafeMoon token that allows to facilitate the cross chain. And it's as straightforward as tokens on one side, they move across to the other. and that's it. There's more mechanics to it, and I'm sure that we'll be able to release the articles on release to kind of explain a little bit more about it. But yeah, tokens go from one side to the other, and yeah, that's it. It's a one for one on one side, one on the other.
And,
I like it a lot.
and we've used bridges in the past, and it seems like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cats, but from what I can remember, it seems like you always pay that gas in the native token of what wallet you're sending it from. So that's how that will work or for what chain, not wallet, I'm sorry, from what chain you're sending it from. So SafeMoon will be that gas fee?
So SafeMoon will be the gas fee. So this is where things like the innovation of TMI comes into play, where that form of side of things where we're now able to collect the native token. Specifically, if we look at other dexes out there today, they it was an industry standard until hopefully we can look to change that industry standard. But the industry standard for any fee collection, specifically from fees that don't tie to a token, ultimately need to be collected in the token that you're trading via the form of LP tokens, which in turn, once you build up a pool, that needs to be ultimately, how do you get that asset? How do you get the monetary value from those fees you've collected? Well, then you need to make and look to act and liquidate those fees to then utilize them for their intended purpose. Whereas now we don't need to do any of that. We don't need to collect any form of LP tokens. We don't need to touch anything in relation to anyone's project that comes on ourselves, or even any partner that comes on the swap, which that in itself is a big feature to have. Because you have other dexes out there that ultimately are being negatively impacted because they're looking to take the fees in this way. Now we no longer do that. We're able to positively empower the projects because we don't need to take anything from them. So when we apply TMI to this scenario, we can collect the gas fees, as you said, all on one side. So for example, if you're going from BSC to Poly, you would collect the gas fees all in BNB, and then everything would be done on our side to deliver those tokens, because there is a transaction on Poly that essentially you're initiated from BSC. So where does that gas come from? Well, that's covered by the initial gas coverage to then deliver those tokens.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So let's talk about that real fast for more of like an educational purpose, because I am amazed at how many people don't understand why you would need a bridge. So when it comes to the bridge, and anybody that wants to answer this can answer it, why would you want to bridge your token to another chain? Like,
each chain has their own purpose, right?
okay.
Not every chain is going to have the same unique purpose for what it's built for. One of the ones that I can say right off the bat is a completely unique chain to some of the others out there is the file chain.
Yep.
Which is Filecoin. Completely different type of blockchain that you could be a part of. But that's different to Binance. That's different to Ethereum. Ethereum is heavily surrounded by the initial foundations. It was ultimately the evolution, in their eyes, from what was Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is showing its sort of like ancient parts, in my opinion, with the amount of traffic that's now going through there. It's in a consistent 400,000 transactions pending because of the BR20 that's going on right now. It's now just an evolution of, right, well, let's build scalability. Let's reach out. Let's make this more impactful. Ethereum was that next step. Then Binance took that step, and hey, hopefully we can take the next step to make a change too. But as you were touching back on, why would you want to go on to another change? Well, it depends on your purpose. Depends on what you want to be. We saw meme season start, as we will call it. Meme season started not on Binance. So if you were on Binance and you wanted to move some value across, we are able to facilitate that.
So I kind of want to chime in on this, because I actually recently had an experience with trying to get ETH. So for me, the bridging is the ease of use. That is my thing that I'm most excited about with SafeMoon, because I recently had to buy Bitcoin from Cash App and send it to my wallet in Trust Wallet. And first off, that took 5 hours for me to receive my Bitcoin.
Ooh.
From my
That
Cash
doesn't surprise
App.
me
So,
right now.
Yeah.
yeah, like it
It's
was
like
so bad. It took
long.
5 hours.
Yeah.
So then what I had to do is I had to swap my Bitcoin for ETH. And so I had to go to the only place that I knew at the time, and yes, so many people have been like, here, Holly, here's a whole bunch of, other swaps you can use. I actually had to swap it using Let's Exchange. And the fees were astronomical when trying to swap it. Like it was so bad. And then I had to send that to my wallet, which took, Greg, me and you were going through it. Like you sent me
hours.
That took a while.
Because it was through the Robinhood, it was through their end. They had to approve it.
It was so bad. So like just the ease of use for me, just that alone excites me because of the process that I had to go through just to get Ethereum. Like it was so bad. And the reason I had to go that route is because I have 3 different banks, and not one of them will let me buy crypto through MoonPay or anywhere else. And so the only way I could do it was through Cash App. It was a process, you guys. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because one of the thought processes was back in the early days of SafeMoon, there was a lot of people coming to me saying that were in Texas and New York who couldn't buy BNB. They find it incredibly difficult, and it was just a hassle for them, and they had to go through hoops on hoops. Yep. Well, that then solves this process, because they were able to obtain the token or coin that they're able to buy where they're from. They've got it. Okay, is SafeMoon on that? Great. Let's go into SafeMoon, and then if they want to come to Binance, if they want to come to Polygon or the east side currently, whichever side they start from, they then don't actually need to move in order to obviously have SafeMoon. If they want to move, they can move, and then they can move it across in the nature of whatever it is. So if they want that BNB, SafeMoon can now facilitate that option to have someone from those states easily obtain something like Polygon or ETH, go across the chain. Now I've got my BNB.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, too.
All in one app. All in one app.
I know. That's so exciting to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, we used it heavily on the Chronos.
Yeah.
I mean, when we want to cash out, because you can't send the Crow to Binance. So what we would do we would cash out on the Crow swap and then send it through Evo Bridge, I think it was.
Which is no good anymore.
Which is no good, but it was great because it was cheap.
It was $1. No matter how much you sent, it was cost $1.
Yeah, and you could take your Crow wallet and say you want to send this amount, and you could actually add another wallet. It wouldn't just exchange it in the same wallet. It would actually send it at the same time to your Binance wallet, and then you could cash it out.
Yeah, what we also get the question, and I just had this question asked me yesterday, which I think goes right along the lines of this, is why would I want to send it over there? Like, besides what, Katz is saying, because that's why I brought it up, because I knew you would be able to answer it the way I was thinking it, but I wasn't going to be able to get it out of my mouth that way. But I do believe, too, as this whole Web3 and these chains, like you said, they have different uses, different things going on. People are going to be less and less likely to be on just one chain. Whereas I believe in the last 2 years or so, you had a lot of people that just were ETH or just were Bitcoin or just were BSC or whatever we're talking about. I could list 1,000 of them. But I think as this whole thing evolves more and more and more, that you're going to want to be on more and more chains. And this, like you said, one-stop shop is perfect for that. Also, what I think it does too is I don't have to have as many off ramps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can just swap it back to the BSE side and use that off ramp. I don't have to have an off ramp for every chain or an on ramp for every chain, because I already have enough passwords memorized that I don't think I've got any more room for any more passwords.
Right.
So I think the ease of what this sounds like it's going to be is going to be key too, and it's going to be awesome.
And it ultimately has to be user friendly for everyone.
Yeah.
Not
And
just-
on this side of it, of this side of the chain, now there is another utility for the SafeMoon token,
Yeah.
Right.
which is perfect. So
And everything with the bridges helps the ecosystem. One of the, obviously when the 1% was announced, everyone was going, oh, well, what does this do for the tokenomics and the way the tokenomics are distributed? And one of the ones was, oh, well, what happens to things like in the document and the presentation we shared was you had things like the burn and the reflections, and it's, well, they're still there. That's still core value of what it is there. This just now allows it to be paired with this utility, which in turn will be able to help grow this ecosystem as a whole. But also on things like the tokenomics with what cross-chain specifically does in the way SafeMoon's doing it, is that interoperability, but it's also the distribution between the chains. So for example, with the current tokenomics and burn, the base premise of the tokenomics burn is tokens are removed from the circulating supply. That's pretty much the mechanic of the tokenomics burn function. Now, what happens when we move tokens across the chain? Well, they're still a part of circulating supply. So you have the whole token circulating supply, which is 1 trillion tokens. You then have the circulating supply of all the chains. But you now have the circulating supply of each chain, which will represent its own mini ecosystem, which in turn benefits and makes it a better tokenomics burn function, because it's taking the circulating supply from Binance and putting it on Polygon. So the distribution and spread works, but you're never removing them from the circulating supply. You're only moving them across, but it's still functioning in the same value. And then as this expands, and as this could be expanded, you know, let's say there was 30, 40, 50 chains that we could access and have the SafeMoon token on. Now you've got this distribution across many different chains. And that's why this is exciting, because it's not just about one ecosystem on one chain. It's now about connecting everyone together in one app, in one streamlined fashion, and just benefiting everyone that then, you know, comes into the swap, comes into any other products we look to deliver. It's just the interoperability and connection between people that this now facilitates, and it's all done via one app, in a secure app as well, with the SafeMoon Orbital Shield.
Right. Even better.
That's awesome.
yeah, because it's also basically the tokenomics now is buys and sells, and now you have increased the volume of, you know, just swapping from, or using the bridge and moving it from one chain to another, that the volume and the tokenomics should increase greatly too, especially the more and more chains that are on that bridge. So I do have a question, and I don't even know if you can answer it or not, but I was going to ask it anyways. I'll make it 2 parts so it makes it easier. Okay. Are there more chains coming?
Anything is possible. I would say the foundation are laid for it to be possible. As and when that happens, and if it happens, is obviously for the future, but this is
Okay.
the first step to being possible.
So my second question is really null now, but because I was going to ask you, was there any other chains that you could tell us were coming? So I won't ask that.
That's so mad.
Okay,
I know, and
fair
you
enough.
know, it's one of them.
Fair enough.
So I have a question, like kind of follow up to these questions. Is so who or how was the decision made on what change you wanted to put on the bridge? Is it just
So-
by, like, popularity, like more volume? You know what I'm saying? Like how was that decision made?
There's not one factor that you can say is for the right reason. Say, oh, well, you're going to have this chain or this chain. But each chain, as we said, has its purpose. Each chain has its area within Web3 and DeFi as a whole. So it's an evaluation of multiple things that come together to make those decisions. And, some of the chains out there at the moment are more complex to integrate. Solana was one of them, which was a more complicated chain. A lot of the chains currently, you have Ethereum, and then Binance and some of the other chains are all EVMs, which is based off the Ethereum core foundations. Whereas Solana is a completely different entity altogether, because that runs off something called Rust, which is a whole new language and a whole new style that needs to be developed and learned. So yeah, there's not one specific key thing that makes us say, oh, we want this chain or we want this chain, but it's just about, I suppose what is being needed, what is needed within the space to be connected to. Is there a lot of things happening on the chain? Well, yeah, we would look to kind of consider that. So if anyone has any ideas of what they want, we're always listening. And if sometimes, you may not feel like you heard, but everything's acknowledged. Even if it's not a direct reply, everything is taken on as feedback. And we only want to look to improve.
Awesome.
Fair enough. Yeah. Did you have another question, Holly? Okay. Yeah.
So this one comes from me because of something Katz had said. He said, come and learn how many nugs are in my Happy Meal. And so I want to know.
Yeah. How many nugs?
Yeah. How many nugs?
40.
40 nugs.
Wow.
Well, I know you guys in the US can order 100. And
what, we can?
Can we?
You can. At least I know you can in Florida. I know I did in Florida.
They used to be 50, I know.
Really?
Yeah. I used to order
is it 50?
Yeah. I don't know. The
most
I've ever ordered was 10. I didn't know there was any more than that. I feel like I couldn't eat
because the highest we can
nugs.
get is 20.
I can eat 22.
You can eat 40 for real, Cat.
Yeah. You should see some of the food I've eaten in some of the food challenges. I don't know if you've seen, there's a gentleman from the UK, I think it's called Beards with Food or something like that, and he does food challenge. He goes all around the world and does food challenges, and some of the stuff he's done, I've done.
We need to do that.
I couldn't do some of the stuff he's done, but I've done some of the stuff he has done. I'll have to find the photos. Yeah, there was one where there was a trash can lid, and it was just full of ribs, southern fried chicken, wings, fries, coleslaw, chili. But it was a proper full-sized trash can lid, and it was full to the brim. And I ate it. Took me 2 hours. Luckily, there was no time limit, but I did it.
What did it cost?
Wow.
Was it expensive?
Only about £30, so it's about $35.
That's
35, 40. Well, prices would have been higher then because of currency conversion, but yeah, around about that.
Huh.
That sounds like a good
I
cheap
want to try that.
stuff.
I'm coming over.
Yeah. First thing off the plane, Caleb's headed to the trash can lid store.
Yeah.
Did you have another question, Holly?
Put that in the sink.
No, I was just going to say, I think I'm ready to hear as much as I can about this EU exchange.
Yeah. So what can he tell us about that exchange that's coming up?
EU exchange coming winter 2023.
All right, there you go. Straight from Cats.
We love the Cats, but we all kind of predicted that answer, but we had to at least ask.
Yeah, it's really exciting. But so it's going to be in the EU. What about the US?
Things take time, and it's just a process. It's not something that can happen overnight. And as much as everyone would love things to be done overnight, things take time, and some things just fall into place quicker than others.
So the US, obviously, I would assume that they have some regulations and stuff that are harder to compete with, I guess. Is that one of the reasons it's coming out in EU first?
I would say that is a factor, yes. But I'm not a part of that, so I wouldn't know. But yeah.
We just know it's coming winter 2023 EU.
I just feel like sometimes the U.S. does that on purpose to make people jump through hoops.
Yeah.
It drives me
They
insane.
really do.
They do.
They
That's
really
all it is. Power trip.
Well, it's like, how much of it can we put here?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what drives me insane.
But
Seems like
it was a surprise to me too. That post was a surprise to me too. It was a nice surprise because it was something that I wasn't aware of, and then hey, I learned with everyone else, and it was a positive post.
Yeah, that's cool.
Especially with the motivation of everything else that came out that day too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was an exciting time because I kept thinking, like, after the second time I saw a post, like, who's screwing with me? Like, why? Is somebody playing a joke on me?
Right.
Yeah. And then I saw Holly
Ashton
was
Kutcher?
behind it too, and I was part of me thought that she might still be screwing with me, but it was public, so it was like, okay, we're good. Yeah, I'm getting punked.
Waiting for him to come running out.
So let's talk.
I wouldn't do that. I don't screw around when it comes to SafeMoon.
No,
I really
you
don't.
You don't. But there are
That's the way you
sometimes
can
where we
pull it
get the
off.
little private DMs where I'm thinking, is this real? Holly's messing with us again. Or vice versa. I'm not going to lie. Occasionally we send them the other
Right.
direction too. So, I mean, we're not completely innocent in this thing.
Right.
So the swap. I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about the swap too, because we just saw that Holly's favorite meme coin is on the swap now. The frog. That is something. When it comes to the swap, in my mind too, this is another reason that this bridge is going to kind of catch fire. The more that's on the swap, the more that it makes it attractive. Would you agree with that, Katz?
Yeah. So the bridge does help facilitate those connections that potentially people didn't have access to. If someone wanted to get in on a new launch on a different chain or whatever it is and be a part of the meme season, so to speak, then the bridge does help facilitate that, and they're able to move across and go onto the other chain, no problem. The bridge does help. As for the swap, it's, in my opinion, only better to be on the SafeMoon swap versus elsewhere, as we mentioned before. Even just the swap fees specifically, the 0.25 DEX fees, doesn't affect your projects. You go to some of the other providers out there, it does. Even though it may be small to begin with, but hey, if you have a project, on the scale of something like Pepe and what Pepe did, that's a lot of volume, and that's a lot of fees that have been ultimately accumulated that we don't affect you by, whereas another competitor may do. So that's why I always want to say is, it's not about where you're situated, it's about where the actual facility you're using benefits you and the project, because you could be on 50 different places at once, and that's great, but how many of them are actually wanting to help you and build you as a community? We're seeing that with some of the new partners over the last couple of days, which is Galactic. Great partner. They've got a great bit of kit of tech underneath their foundation, and then it's exciting to see where that can go, because they're stating it's a new era of NFTs, so I'm excited to see where their partnership goes. So I have to wait and see.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I've used many swaps, and sometimes you'll get more back on a certain swap than you will another swap because of fees and different things like that, or however it turns out. But I would gather that there is some thought put into who you let list on your swap, but I also see other swaps that have, I don't know if thousands is correct or not, but hundreds of different tokens on it. And I wonder at some level, well, what's the volume of token X? Is it even worth having on your swap? So I just was kind of curious obviously I believe that there's going to be more tokens listed on the swap, or if that's not part of it. But it's like, is there a limit of what you think you guys are looking at putting on there? Is there a goal maybe of the number of tokens? Or is it just kind of case by case scenario?
So when anyone is looking to come to the swap, they submit the application. and then the sales team will be in touch, and they'll take them through the process of getting them onboarded and going through their application to bring them on. There's no specific number to hit in terms of how many partners we want. As you know, it's not going to be, oh, we're only going to be stuck to 30 partners and that's it. It's every partner brings something to the table, and it's only proven by the latest one, which is Galactic. They have a phenomenal piece of tech underneath their belt, and they can do tremendous things for the space. As with any partner we look to bring on, they all show the potential to bring something to the ecosystem, bring something to the community, and we want to empower them in the same way that I've been empowered with SafeMoon. I've been brought up in a space where I didn't think much of it, and then I was empowered through my journey with SafeMoon to be where I am. So yeah, it's the same principles of just empowering those and help them become as successful as anyone.
And I feel like there's a little bit of a vesting process in that too, that and I'm not saying that there's any responsibility for SafeMoon here, but I feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that if I go on that swap, that I'm probably investing in a token that somebody has at least put eyes on and somebody has at least done some research with, whereas I don't always feel that way on other swaps that I go on, because I read it and I look at it and I go, who would ever invest in this? Like, this looks like something that is horrible, So I think there's a comfort level there too with what they add, because like I said, at least it feels like there's some vesting going on, and everyone should always do their own research. We always preach that, but for me personally, it makes me just a little bit more comfortable with where I'm putting my money when that happens. So
I also go ahead, Kat.
Go ahead.
No, I feel like along those lines, I feel like I need to say that I do believe that SafeMoon vets these projects, and they ultimately have the decision to put them on the swap, but that's not saying that something can't go wrong with some of these projects. And that is nothing to do with SafeMoon. And I feel like more people need to really understand that at the time of putting them on the swap, they were vetted. They had to do the whole process, that whatever they go through. I don't have a project to put on the swap, so I don't know what they go through.
Yeah.
But at that time, they feel like, okay, this is the project we want to add. And then, a couple months down the road, if something goes sour, it's not SafeMoon's fault.
No,
it's,
they share no fault in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Agreed. But it just as just a trader, it just always makes me feel just a little better, But
You are a trader.
What's that?
Nothing.
Yeah. See, these stupid. I can't ever hear. I need to have like one out so
I love
can
it
hear
that you
your. So I can hear your. I'll skip what I was going to say. That was going to be really mean. It's Friday. We got to be nice.
Happy Friday.
Yeah. So, does anybody have any other questions before we kind of get to put cats in some of our segment hot seats?
Oh yeah, my favorite.
Anything? Cats,
No.
is there anything else that you want to talk about that we haven't brought up? Because we're pretty good at that sometimes.
Right.
No, I think we covered all the changes so far. Yeah, I'm just excited, as I always have been. My confidence has never shied away from what is possible. And this just doesn't go for me, but for anyone out there, whether, you're looking to take up a hobby, whether it's drawing, swimming, painting, there's some inspirational people out there. Just don't shy away from what you want to achieve. If you want to go ahead and do it, go and do it. Because if you don't start today, you're probably not going to start. So what's stopping you from doing it today? Unless you got a good excuse. I'll accept it if you got a good excuse, but I don't like excuses. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's very true, though. Because every time we've talked to you, there's never been a waiver. Behind the scenes, on camera, whatever it is, there's never been a waiver. And I've always appreciated that. It's a calming confidence that comes when we have chats, whether it's being recorded or not. And I've always appreciated that. It always just made me feel better about my personal investment.
Yeah.
So,
Well, one thing, just random, he talked about the BR20, which has been in the news lately. I think that's a pretty big deal. And if I'm not wrong, it's making Bitcoin more on the smart contract kind of side of things. Is that right, Katz?
Yeah, so it's following the same premise as kind of what BNB is doing. It's the functionality to the same extent. One of the biggest factors that was contributing towards this was things such as NFTs. A lot of NFT projects moved across to Bitcoin and actually on the Bitcoin chain. There's guys can go and look at things called oracles, which is what is causing the massive traffic on the BR20 network. It's showing the true scalability of the original daddy of the space, which is Bitcoin. It's showing what is needed to move further forward. And I've kind of said this for Bitcoin specifically, is I can see Bitcoin becoming the larger scale sort of monetary value. It's not simple for someone to come into the space and obtain a whole Bitcoin. It's not as simple as it's not. Whereas some of the other projects out there is more obtainable, and that's because they have been able to build and scale beyond whatever their initial core values were. Bitcoin is going to become, in my opinion, that old styled either large transfers, kind of like bank transfers, or even you consider it sort of like check style payments, where it's about moving large sums of money, and it's not and in some cases storing large values of money too. What's easier to transfer, 20 Bitcoin or 100,000 Polygon? Right. Holding 20 Bitcoin is a lot easier than 100,000 Polygon. I don't know if that math adds up, but hey, I don't know if they're equivalent to the same thing, but you get my point. So
I'll take either.
That's where Bitcoin fits in. Well,
if you're giving it away, Katz, I'm all about it.
Put my wallet address in the description.
We'll do a giveaway, because we'll give away 20 Bitcoin because we just got it around. But I agree with you 100%, Katz. You are 100% right. We've talked about that behind the scenes too, where everything kind of has its own unique abilities, or just it turns out that its use cases. I've always kind of thought that maybe that's what Bitcoin looked at, right? Because even when we first started getting into it, it'd be like, how cool would it be to own one Bitcoin? Well, you know how many transactions it'd take me to get there? Because I'm not just going to buy one. It would take me a while to get there. But I can go buy this other one that has like $1 trillion for, say, $20, meme coin season. And I feel like that, lose a couple zeros and I'll make a lot of money, So I can see that definitely being the case for Bitcoin. So
yeah, if we look towards the future and we look at larger scale, Bitcoin can, I'm never going to say replace, but be a part of the system of larger values in the current system. It can play a huge part in that. Whether it's accepted in society and everything that's surrounding that's obviously in discussions and to be decided. But I definitely see slow progression because you have the layer 1 and layer 2. You have the layer 1, which is the Bitcoin token. You have the layer 2 where people are building on top. SafeMoon is on the layer 2 of all these chains. We don't have our own chain yet, so we're building on the layer 2. And the layer 2 can end up hindering, as we've seen, ultimately the layer 1. I want to move my Bitcoin. I can't because there's 400,000 people doing other things, and because that volume is high, the speeds are slow. Yeah. But that's not to say, hey, they can't improve it, and there can't be some solutions to making things faster. But that's down to the power of, what's easier? Upgrading a system that no one ultimately has control over to a certain extent, or innovate on the system and make it better. And I know Maxi's out there for Bitcoin are going to hate me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is not scalable to the extent, and it's being proven today with the scalability. but it's not to say that it doesn't have a purpose and it's not here to stay. So there's pros and cons.
Right.
Absolutely. You guys ready to move forward?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Some Hollativity.
Holly, are you ready for Hollativity?
I am ready for Hollativity.
All right, you are up.
Yeah.
All right, so today's Hollativity is brought to you by one of my favorite girls out there. I just love her, and I love that she speaks her mind, and she is so unapologetically her. And I love that about her. So it's SafeMoon Nurse. So the other day she posted, appreciate exactly where you are now. There is always room for gratitude, though it may take some work to identify. Oh, and don't be a dick. I had to throw that little last part, in there.
That's important.
That's like an ongoing kind of joke thing. But yeah, she's absolutely right. I feel like sometimes we get caught up in the future, and what could happen when we should actually be caught up in the right now, and appreciate what is happening right now, because the future is never guaranteed for anyone.
No.
So thank you, Nurse. Yep, she's one of my favorite people. When I sent it, she was like, "Aw, thanks." And then, of course, she said something sarcastic, because that is Nurse. Like, I just love her, and she's just her. And that to me is the best kind of person, is just being true to who you are. And she definitely does that.
No,
so
she's great. I was actually talking to the Jeff, the guy that was our
Highlight fan.
for the month.
yeah.
And I was talking to him yesterday, and one of the things that we talked about is that we didn't really have any regrets from where we were to where we are, except for I wish I would have taken more of that tweet's advice and living more in the now as I was growing up, instead of always planning future things and never enjoying the moment that I was living in at that time. And I don't want to say never, but you take things for granted sometimes when you're in your 20s and your 30s, and you go, oh yeah, but I've got to build towards this. I've got to get here, instead of going, this is a pretty good time right now too.
Yeah.
So I love that tweet. I saw that. I love that tweet. I love interacting with Nurse. I think we need to try something, Holly, from here on out.
Yeah.
Is I need to not know who the tweet's from and see if I can guess based on your description of the person.
There you go.
Because I think I would have guessed today's. I don't know if I would always guess it, but I think I would have guessed Nurse today.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
I'll email Greg directly, so that, because I put it in our group chat, so I won't do that.
And I'll
So
see
that-
if I
yeah.
can't guess it. I'll probably go for 0 for 50, but congratulations to Nurse.
Nurse.
Yes.
Thank you, Nurse.
All right, Caleb.
Here we go.
It's time for Caleb's choice.
His choice,
His rules.
his rules.
Nah,
Early.
too early.
Last
Too
week was
early.
close.
I'm guessing.
Last week was really close.
I think you were early.
I think,
maybe.
my guess is early.
But
You
might
know what?
be spot
When
on.
he said we were spot on last week, I was a little bit early.
Just
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
No, I was a little bit late. I was still late, so that's why I was like, okay.
Yeah,
it's
but
like-
just barely.
You know what?
Barely, yeah.
You know how the words kind of flicker, like flash? I think it's
Yeah.
like right before it does that. If you can kind of gauge that.
One of these
Okay.
days, it's going to be like The Office where the little thing, the DVD thing bounces and
Oh,
it
yeah.
finally hits in the corner.
And everybody
She's going to
cheers.
finally get it. We're going to throw a party.
Everybody's
Flip a table.
breaking beer mugs.
yeah.
All right. First question of the day is, what is one thing you would stand in line for over an hour?
Wait, this is for.
Caleb's choice.
Well, no. Was this singled out?
It's for everyone.
Okay, all right.
Everyone has to answer.
Right.
Did you forget how Caleb's choice works?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
It's only been 57 weeks.
I don't know. It's the moon cycles. I'm sorry.
Mine's a roller coaster. I love roller coasters, so I just stand in line
You
forever.
did stand in line for an hour in Vegas for a roller
Oh, that's
coaster.
true, yeah.
Holly and I were downstairs losing a bunch of money, waiting on you guys to
Right.
get off the roller coaster.
You would wait the longest.
What would you stand in line for an hour?
For an hour? I don't know. I always stand in line an hour for like the Fury of the Nile. You know, with the tube.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't do that.
I do, because I do like it.
I just
You
don't
like walking
go.
around the park all wet?
Yeah. Sometimes in 100 degrees. Yeah.
Hmm.
Soak me down.
I, honestly, man, I don't know if I would stand in line for an hour for anything.
You would. Something. Food.
$1 million?
Oh, yeah.
Food.
Okay, I'll stand in
Oh,
line
$1 million?
for $1 million.
Hell yeah, I'd stand in line for 24
No, you
hours.
can't take his answer.
No, yeah, it's
Well,
my answer.
it's too
Caleb's
late.
rules.
You're right. All right.
You picked getting wet.
Yeah, you pick the Fury of the Nile and walk
Hey.
around an amusement park wet. I get the $1 million.
We should bring Super Soakers on the podcast.
Cats, what about you?
Well, I'm British, so we queue for everything. So it's hard. If we're going out, just like as far as randomness as we can go, I would say a fully functioning starship. If Elon can get it to fully function,
shit.
I want my own branded starship, just mine, no one
Greg's answer
else's.
sucks now.
Oh,
Greg's
that's
regretting
awesome.
his life choices now.
I would fly there and wait with you. I don't care what it costs to fly there.
Yeah.
What about you, Holly?
I probably for like concert tickets, I think I would. Like, because I've gone to festivals where it's general admission, and so you kind of wait in line early so you can get like a good spot.
Yeah.
And I totally would because I love festivals. So I've done it and I would do it again. So
Isn't that all online now? Like,
kinda. So like you can buy your tickets online, but then if it's general admission, you kind of want to go early and wait in line until they open so you can get like closer to the stage because it's
Yeah,
First
because
come, first
those
served.
general admission tickets are normally like on the floor or like floor tickets. Because I've
Yeah.
seen like they open that door,
Yeah.
and that crowd rushes down there and they run, and I just go sit in my seat. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm waiting.
No, I'm one of the crazy ones that I love the crowd. I like to be, I don't know, it's just fun for me. So
Yeah, I can do
That's
it.
good.
I mean, I did one.
yeah,
last
I did
week.
the crowd surf
Yeah.
before. That's fun.
Crowd surfing?
Yes.
No, I've not done that. But I've been to some punk rock
I'm
shows
too
where
big.
I thought about
I don't think anybody's gonna crowd surf me. I'm the person that has to like pick the people up.
Everybody would move as you jumped.
Yeah, I would like die.
All right, I have a would you rather question.
Ooh, these are good.
Would you rather shave your head once, completely bald, or never shave like your face or legs or whoever
Oh,
ever again?
easy. Shave my head bald.
See, I wouldn't mind shaving my head, but I can't much more than this. It makes it too itchy. So I'd have to be able to shave my face.
Didn't we have a shaving question last week?
I don't know.
Yeah, we did.
What was it?
Like, where's the weirdest part you've ever shaved?
Oh, that was your
was a
truth
couple.
deal. and
Oh,
you
was that
made
a
it-
true
You
thing?
made it weird.
Man, I'm getting everything all confused.
I have shaved my head bald before, so I'd probably do that.
Okay. Holly, are you shaving your head?
I am because I want to be able to shave. I mean, I don't like hairy legs.
Okay.
So I want to shave them. Like it bothers me. So I imagine. Yeah, no. I would shave it once and then be able, yes,
Yeah, okay.
definitely.
How long would it
think
take
there's
your
a-
hair to grow back as long as it is now?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it would take a while just because but my hair grows like a weed. Like I'm honestly gonna cut off probably about this much soon.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll be like to
wow.
here. But look how much it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But it'll be a little under my shoulders. I'm gonna do it just so I can like, I don't know, I need a change. So I'm gonna
Well, there's a Vegas picture of what she would look like bald. Remember?
yeah, there
Oh,
is. On the
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember. I'm not bald. I will never actually shave my head unless I had to.
Never say never.
But
Yeah.
I know, that's why I said unless I had to. Yeah.
Cats, what about you?
well, I've already shaved my head, so I did it on stream, and there's that many memes of me that
That's right. I forgot about that.
Okay. Well,
Holy crap,
It was
that a while
unanimous.
ago.
even if you go to the SafeMoon Discord right now, there's an emoji with me with just my mustache, no beard, no hair, just a mustache. So
Oh, really?
there's emojis and memes of me. So
That's
yeah, anyone that wants to
hilarious.
see me with just a mustache, go to the Discord. There's plenty of them about.
All right, that's cool. My last question for the day: if I gave you $1,000, what would you invest in today?
Man.
$1,000. What would I put it in?
Yeah. I don't have $1,000 to give you, but if I did,
No, well, that's bullcrap, Caleb.
son of a
Jeez.
You guys.
Well,
Damn, that's a hard one.
it is hard because I love the price point that SafeMoon's at right now.
I was just gonna say.
I really
the
do, and I know that sounds cheesy because Katz is on here, but I love the price point of SafeMoon right now.
Yeah.
I also think the XRP,
Oh.
because rulings will be coming out
yeah.
soon.
Hopefully. Sheesh.
I was thinking XRP.
I also like SHIB right now. I mean, there's a lot that I would like to put $1,000 into, but in honor of our guest, I will pick SafeMoon. But I truly do love the price
Cop
point
out.
right now. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
I would probably XRP SHIB went through my mind, but probably Terra Luna Classic.
Yeah.
I'd probably put $1,000 in it.
Cass just gave you a look like you're an idiot. He didn't really, but
He was like,
That's
"What?"
all right if you did.
what about you?
I was gonna say XRP.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have much of that yet.
Katz, what are you investing in?
So I don't invest for monetary value. I invest for making a positive change. So if I was to invest $1,000, it would be for something relating to any sort of foundation that would help improve. I suppose you could consider it a donation instead, but anything to do with stroke association of some kind, strokes, that nature. So.
Wow.
I should have known that. I think Katz is the nicest guy we've ever met.
I know. He really
Right?
is.
He really is. And it's not fake. It's just like who he is.
Yeah.
He's just so
That's
chill and just so nice all the time.
That's good.
Oh, it was my granddad. My granddad passed away from a stroke. He had a stroke, and then we thought it was on the mend, and then because of what happens when you have a stroke, you don't fully have your full brain capacity back, and he just one Sunday thought, I'm gonna switch on and do my regular Sunday routine. All of a sudden, next minute he's gone for a 5-mile walk, and that took it out of him, and he didn't realize. And so I was like, nah,
Yeah.
Well, personally, we lost our father to a stroke, and not to get in all the details, but yeah, it was bad. It was real bad.
Yeah.
Holly, liven it up a little bit.
You know, I want to say SafeMoon because of the price point it's at now.
Don't be a copycat.
But I think you stole mine, by the way.
Yeah,
But
I just went first.
think if I had $1,000, I also like the price point of SHIB,
Yeah.
and so I think I'd put it.
Yeah.
even though it's on Ethereum, you got to pay $1,000 in gas fees.
I know, but if you do what I
Well.
want it to do,
You could buy a
Well,
Binance
I
bank
was gonna-
SHIB.
Well, you can buy it on Binance and then just send it to your wallet for a lower fee.
True.
You just keep it.
Yeah, that's true.
Holly, what crazy question do you have for us today?
oh, mine isn't that crazy, but I'm interested to know what secret talent do you have that nobody knows you have?
Wow. Things are about to get exposed.
I'm gonna have to, because I also probably don't really want to tell you because you'll make me do it. So I have to think of another one.
Secret talent.
Secret talent.
You tell us yours, Holly, since you had time to think about it.
So this is weird, but I can tie my shoe with one hand.
What's one
And
hand?
I actually, fun fact, yes. So fun fact is we have a radio station down here called John Jane Rich. And they said it is physically impossible for anybody to do that. And I actually was like, no, it's not. And I went down to the station and I proved it to them and I won $2,000.
Oh, sweet.
You won how much?
What?
$2,000 because that
What?
was
Dang.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Wow.
the
can't
time
believe
I
You
see
just,
with
how
one
do you
hand.
keep getting like just thousands of dollars for free?
I can't believe we don't know this already.
No, I mean, supposedly, I don't. Apparently, it's like impossible. Impossible to do. Obviously not. I proved him wrong, and I won $2,000 for it.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is.
Cass, do you have a secret talent?
I wouldn't say
In
it's
under a
secret.
minute. Sorry, that was the thing. You have to be able to do it in under a minute.
That's impressive.
I don't
is
think I could
impressive.
do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Fingers
no.
don't work like that.
I don't know if I was part of the secret talent.
I wouldn't say it's a talent. It's more just a skill that I've been able to do, which is if you give me an image, doesn't matter what it is, I can replicate it on Photoshop without the original asset.
Really?
So you give me I suppose it's a skill. I suppose, but
talent.
anyone can learn it.
Absolutely a skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But no, if you give me a hypothetical Marvel photo or poster, for example, I'll be able to recreate it, or that sort of thing.
That's really awesome because I can't do that.
So is that sort of kind of like a photographic memory?
Well, no, because I still have. So, if you were to give me the original image, but you didn't give me all the assets,
Oh,
I would
I'm
be
with
able
you.
to make the
okay.
image. So I'd go find Robbie Downey Jr.'s face, and I would go and find faces, and I'd have to build the asset from just the web, essentially, and I could build it in. I suppose I could say it's sometimes better than the original. Not gonna toot my own horn.
Nope, too late. You just did.
Yeah.
It's okay to toot your own horn sometimes, cats.
Yeah, especially you, Cats, because you're seriously one of the most humble people I think I've ever met.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's gonna be all right. Do we have secret talent? Do you have secret talent?
Nothing coming to mind. I'm musically inclined. I can usually pick up an instrument pretty quick without reading music and listen to a tune over and over, and I can start to play it. But I'm not good at finishing that. I can just pick something up, and then I get bored with it, and that's about all I can think of. I just never I buy guitar. I've bought several guitars. We'll start playing, and I just get bored after like a week, and then never.
And you keep buying them?
I do.
Go to the
Why don't
basement
you
full
just
of
I
say
buy
the
and
one you
sell
bought
them.
before?
Well, because somebody always wants one, and I'll sell it, and then I'm like, I want a guitar again. 'Cause I'm feeling it. And I'll just start playing it, and then I'm just like, I'm done.
Okay, so I can't really think of anything, but one thing that everybody always tells me is that I have a knack of always picking the slot machines that hit.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah, he
does.
Yeah.
He does.
So I don't know
Hey,
what
I
that
did
is, if that's talent or just luck or what, but everybody always says at the casino, just like, here, just take my money and you gamble it, and then just give me a share. So
Yeah.
I've considered that.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that.
I
Here,
think
just
everybody
take
I've
it.
ever been to a casino with has.
I
Because it's like, oh, look, I hit $300. Oh, look, I hit $500. And everybody else is like, well, I'm done. I don't have any money left. So, yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's a talent or not, but that's
It's a
what I'm
talent.
thinking.
you're like the slot machine hound. You sniff it out.
The slot machine whisperer.
Whisper.
You know which one's right.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
Not always, though.
I don't know. I like to cook.
I was going to say,
I can cook
Oh,
stuff
there
without
it is.
recipes normally.
Yeah.
I can figure out what it needs to. And
You should
I
have
don't know
made
if that's a
some.
talent or not. but
it
I
is a
like to-
talent because Caleb can make some
That is
food that,
Oh, yeah.
like, I'm like, oh, where'd you get that recipe? He's like, I didn't have one. I just kind of experimented and added this, and it needed more of that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but this is like really good. So that's a talent.
Yeah, he should have made some of that egg roll
in a
casserole.
bowl.
What's
In a
that
bowl.
called? Egg roll in a bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it tastes like an egg roll, but it doesn't have the
Wonton.
wonton around
I
it.
tell everybody about that.
I'm telling you what, I could eat a bowl of it. It's good.
Yeah.
And
We're
he
gonna
just
do a bowl
kind of
today.
came up with it. He just figured out what it was and spiced it up and put different things in it. It's good.
Gonna
Like
hit a
really
bowl,
good.
If you know what I mean, a bowl of egg roll.
All right. So this week's we're to truth or dare time.
Oh,
Not powered. Well, powered by.
Jeez.
Every time.
Well,
Every time, Greg.
well,
We've been doing this like 10
that
weeks.
is not a talent of yours. Every time.
Wow.
it just happened so quick. But
Does it?
this time it's not powered by.
It's still powered by
It is.
chaos.
Okay,
It's
all
two
right.
of them.
All right.
But this week we are doing things just a little bit different because we did get a little bit tired of all the crush, truce, and dares.
The crush.
So this week we each
It's
pick a
just-
person, and we don't know what the truth or dare is. I'll just go from the list, or does you want to go first?
Who's first?
Well, the way I wrote it down is I have cats.
yeah, I want to.
So we want to do his first?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yes.
All right, so cats. You are on the hot seat, and your
Okay.
dare is to read us a bedtime story or a nursery rhyme.
Ooh.
You want me to read you a bedtime story or a nursery rhyme?
Yeah.
Okay. Bedtime story. I need to find one. Bedtime story.
Where's a pillow?
Hello, Moon.
Yeah,
Nurse
read
wants
Hello Moon.
to look up Hello
I
Moon.
feel like I need a pillow and a blanket.
Hello Moon. Okay, hang on. What you want me to buy it now?
It probably will, but don't
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
Oh, you know what? I have a way to get free books. Not that I'm gonna condone this, but hey, I use my friend ChatGPT.
Hey,
That's your talent.
Yeah.
Another talent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like you're a super
doesn't
fast
know it.
typer, too.
Oh, it doesn't know Hello Moon?
It actually doesn't. I'm surprised. Oh,
You really
No,
can't
oh.
just Google that? Is it not?
It comes up with the actual book, and it doesn't show like the pages of what.
Oh,
I
that would be
looked,
smart
yeah.
so that
Yeah.
you actually have to buy it.
Yeah.
Or you can just read us like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, since you know that by heart.
do I know that by heart? I don't
I know,
know.
I'm like, wait a
I
minute.
get Twinkle Twinkle,
There
and
it
that's
is.
about it.
In the
Caleb?
great green room, there's a telephone and a red balloon, and a
He found
picture of a cow jumping over the moon.
What?
Where are you seeing this? I'm on Amazon, and it wants me to
What
buy
was
it.
that? Go back. Oh,
I just put Hello Moon words, and it pops it up.
Hello.
Hello
Words.
Moon words. Dr. Chase Young. Good night, Moon. Yep. There.
Oh, it is Good Night Moon, and not Hello
Oh,
Moon.
it's
Good night,
Good Night
Moon.
Moon, not Hello Moon.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
that's why you couldn't find it. I'm over here thinking,
Good Night Moon. Yeah. Whoops.
Right. Okay. This has like 5 people that got to say this, right? Or have I got to do it all?
You just got to read
There's
some
4
of
people. We can do it.
it. Yeah, no, he's got to
Okay.
do it.
Yeah,
He's
he's got to
gotta
do it
do
all.
it.
Okay.
I got to do it all. Okay. Right. Okay.
Change your voice every time.
No, I'm not doing that. You're not doing that. That wasn't a part of the dare. I just got told to read it, so I'm
True
reading
that.
it.
There you go.
all right.
All right.
Okay. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there was 3 little bears sitting on a chair and 2 little kittens and a pair of mittens and a little toy house and a young mouse and a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. A quiet old lady who was whispering, "Hush." Good night, room. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light. And the red balloon. Good night, bear. Good night, chair. Good night, kittens. And good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. And good night, socks. Good night, little house. And good night, mouse. Good night, comb. And good night, brush. Good night, nobody. Good night, mush. And good night to the little old lady whispering hush. Good night, stars. Good night, air. All good night noises everywhere.
Yay.
Beautiful.
Yay!
You are actually a good bedtime storyteller.
Right.
I'm gonna cut
Right.
that out and put it on my Google Speaker
Yeah, every
for my
night when I
kids
go to
every night.
sleep, I'm just like,
All right, kids.
my wife be like, "What is that?" Shh, you're interrupting cats.
Start it over.
Right,
You know how
right.
this works.
All right, the next one on my list is Caleb has Josh.
Josh, your dare is to do my dare.
Wait, no.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not how this
No,
works. That's not how this works.
That's clever.
Yeah,
That's
your
clever.
dare's
I
to
would
do my
allow
dare.
it. I would
You
allow it.
cannot
Yeah,
out-
Cats allows it.
You cannot
Yeah.
outthink
I allow
the
it.
system.
Yeah.
I allow it.
I guess that's what we
Yeah.
have to do.
He
that.
allows it. So, wait.
This is such bull.
Wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how does he have to do it? Like,
Just
Sing
Whatever
it.
the dare
what's
is.
my dare?
No, I am not
He
singing.
can just read it.
wait.
You'll
This
get me,
is-
you guys will get me next week, but
What if I change it? I'll change it.
That's bull.
That is crap, but that's ingenious. I like it.
So you want to tell people what I have to do?
just read
He's
it.
got to read "I'm a Barbie Girl" lyrics, which was what I was gonna make Caleb do.
And I passed it on.
That's such
So, are we gonna
crap.
get this double? Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
So I have to read the lyrics?
Can I change mine after this?
No.
I can
All right,
come up
here's
with
the
another
lyrics
song.
to I'm a Barbie Girl. Is that the name of the song?
Barbie Girl. Yeah.
Barbie Girl? Hiya, Barbie. Hi, Ken. You want to go for a ride? Sure, Ken. Jump in. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Life in plastic. It's fantastic. You can brush my hair. Undress me everywhere. That's
Wow.
what?
Just keep reading.
Imagination. Life is your creation. Come on, Barbie. Let's go party. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. This song is really like dumb. You can brush my hair, undress me everywhere. Imagination. Life is your creation. I'm a blonde bimbo girl in a fantasy world.
Wow.
Dress me up. Make it tight. I'm your dolly. You're my doll. Rock and roll. Feel the glamour and pink. Kiss me here. Touch me here.
What the hell?
Hanky panky. You can touch. You can play. If you say, I'm always yours.
Good
Always
job.
feel it.
Wow.
I know it. I know this whole song.
Wow.
But you know what I don't think I knew? It said, I'm a blonde bimbo. Like, I didn't know that.
That's Greg's lyrics.
No, it does say that because when I was like singing along, I'm like, oh, wait, that does fit. I guess I just never realized that that's what it said.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, next on the list, Caleb cheated, is cats. You have a truth or dare for Holly.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know cats had me.
Oh, snap.
Is cats talking?
Oh.
Am I just not hearing?
Yeah, there we go. There we
Oh,
go.
I'm
Sorry.
like,
So there's some quotes being pasted into the chat room.
Oh.
Bear with me. You have to say them in the voice of the person who's saying the quotes.
I'm not good at Oh my gosh, I'm not good at this stuff.
That's what makes it awesome.
That is what makes it awesome.
There you go. It's very clear who it is.
Oh no.
I know. I know who it is from the very first.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Where is SafeMoon Night when I need him? Dumb right now.
Just do the first one. Just do the
Okay.
first one.
I can't go that deep. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Yeah.
SafeMoon Night for this one because he does it fine. I am not like it's not who I am underneath. But what I do defines me.
Is there another one, or do we get part two?
No, those are enough. Those are
All right.
I'm vengeance.
why I've never been good to do impersonations. I can't do them for whatever reason.
Hey, but the
Batman is
effort was
hard.
there. The effort was pretty.
Oh, the
spot
effort
on.
was, yeah, that was as much as you're gonna get. Thanks, cats. Thanks
You're
a lot.
welcome.
All
You're
right,
welcome.
Holly,
That's awesome.
you have Greg.
All right, Greg, you ready for yours?
Yeah.
So, for 1 minute,
Yeah.
you need to roast anybody on this chat lovingly
What?
for 1 minute.
Lovingly.
What?
Lovingly. You've got to roast somebody lovingly.
How does that even?
How does
You
that-
say nice
Encouragement.
things about them. And yes,
Oh, you have to say nice things.
Yeah.
about
Nice
them.
things?
A nice roast.
nice things in a roast kind of way.
I've got a timer.
1
Oh my
minute.
gosh.
That's a long time.
Oh, wait. No! I don't even know.
You don't know
my
I don't
anything
even
nice
know
to
any nice
say?
things about these people.
He really doesn't. He doesn't know how to be nice. It's a
What,
problem.
in a loving way, but like in a sarcastic, mean kind of way?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
In a roast kind of way, you've got to like lovingly
Oh
talk
my
about somebody.
Gosh.
Who you picking?
This is easy.
I knew this one was
It's
gonna
It
be
is
hard for
easy,
him.
but
I feel like it's simple, but not for Greg.
Yeah, there you go. You nailed it. It is simple, but not for Greg. Damn it. I think anybody else could have nailed this. Cats would have been perfect at this.
I know.
all right.
Greg's-
Somebody would have just given him like $2,000.
Caleb. I'll pick Caleb.
Okay.
I knew you were going to either pick Caleb or Holly. He could not do
No,
it.
it's not.
He could not do it to me.
No, I could, but you know.
All right, ready?
So,
Go.
just gotta say nice things, huh?
Go.
Like, Caleb,
Oh.
you are a great friend. One of my best. I enjoyed plumbing with you.
45 more
Is this
seconds.
like a poem?
Oh my gosh.
This is crazy.
Like, we had some good times plumbing, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I love the way you
30
always
seconds.
choose to make Christmas start in July.
That's true.
And
20 seconds.
driving around Kansas City during COVID was a blast.
It was.
I thank you for all those times.
10 seconds.
And 10 seconds.
That's not bad.
Your hat's really good. I like it.
Thanks. Thanks.
You're so ridiculous. That was so hard for you. I
was a
could
minute?
not believe how hard that was for you.
That was extremely hard for you.
Wow, that was. She
So
nailed it
that-
though.
That
Damn.
just makes me think all the times
Like-
that he's like praising Shauna that it's like a script because he doesn't really know how to say it.
Wow.
That actually was painful for me to like listen
Thank
to.
you.
Like Katz's bedtime story, I could go to sleep to that. Yours, I'd be like, I gotta go like take a shower or something. Like,
I know I have to say it in my head like I am reading a script. Like
Yeah.
shit. Because I'm always wanting to joke around with everybody, and I was just like, oh, I gotta say something nice.
Snap.
Which I am a nice guy, and I would say
But
something
I
nice.
feel like if I would have said you just need to roast Caleb, you would have no problem.
Oh, I was
Like,
ready to
He would have
go.
picked me, and it would have been
would've
5
roasted
minutes
everybody.
of just like going to
I
town.
probably would have picked you.
But
more?
nice, Greg. That's
Can't
hard.
let people see this
You guys
side.
are-
Okay, so it is time for our newest segment.
Wait, no. Caleb has to do.
No.
Caleb
He
did do
passed
his.
his to
I
me.
passed.
No,
Oh, that's
That's
right.
what,
Wait.
I'll
Yeah.
be next
that's
next week.
bullshit.
That's what I said.
But
I
Cats
thought you were
allowed
just
it.
gonna. I
Cats
changed
approved
it.
it.
Cats allowed it.
Yeah.
Okay, then he's gonna allow
Allow
the
it.
Suck it,
copy.
Greg.
I wanted to hear him say. Okay, all right.
No.
So, all right.
Okay, so the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Ugly.
Did you want to do the good again, Holly? Did you want to be the positive person in life?
Yes, always. So the good this week, I am definitely gonna go with SafeMoon. And it's not just because Cat's on here, it's because they release so much information of what we have to look forward to, even this month.
Yeah.
So I definitely, that hands down for me, it is definitely the good.
So from one extreme to the other, right? Because there was no FUD fighting this week.
True.
No,
Like I didn't
love
see
my favorite.
people crawling out of the woodwork, like trying to kill one another
Yeah.
over dumb things. So I agree with you. I think that was perfect. I think that
It
was,
was a good.
yeah, 100% perfect. So do you want to do the bad? Have you even looked at the
No.
list yet? Well, you're not going to like it.
Oh,
Oh
the
yeah.
bad is Doge. Dogecoin, what's up?
Yeah. Sideways, then down, and then sideways. And
But, you know, I still have faith in it.
yeah, so the bad this week was a little bit hard to pick, but at the same time, we were just kind of like, would you, like, you want to kick the dog? Have you seen that meme with like the stick, like poking it? Do something, like wake up.
Poke the
And
dog.
so
Wake up.
that's kind of why we went with the bad with Doge
needs a
this week.
bone.
We don't hate it. I mean, a lot of people that we know, their first investment, my first investment into crypto was into Doge,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's got some sentimental to it. But seriously, it's like, come on, do something, move.
Yeah.
Every dog has his day, right?
So maybe that dog will have his
Every
day
dog.
somewhere down the road.
Yes,
right.
again.
And
They'll come around.
the ugly. So, do you remember what the good was last week, Holly? Had
Yeah,
the
Pepe.
frog? Yeah.
Pepe.
So this week I chose the ugly was just meme coins.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. For me personally, it's fun to trade a little bit and just be stupid, like throw $20 at that, $30 at that.
Yeah.
But I have unfortunately seen people get wrecked in the last 7 days, probably mainly because they overbought. But I understand the FOMO behind some of what's happening. But it just got real ugly this week with Crypto Bros token
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
like that. Just people
Well,
like
I mean, and even
taking
Pepe.
that shot of here's $10. Hopefully that's what they were doing. Here's $20,
Yeah.
and maybe I can be a millionaire. And it's just not the odds. The odds are not in your favor for different things like that to happen. So this week, the ugly is not necessarily as serious as last week's was, but meme coins in general win the award for the ugly.
I mean, you know, I bought a Pooh coin, Pooh, with Winnie the Pooh on it.
How'd that
I
do?
heard about that.
You know what? I haven't looked at it in a while, but it was doing all right.
It was doing all right.
Was it the nice poo or the murderous poo?
No, it was the nice Pooh.
There's a murderous poo?
What?
Yeah. They just released a movie last
Oh,
fall
yeah.
that was like a serial killer, Winnie the
Wow,
Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh has a serial killer.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
not know
that's-
that.
Weird.
Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna have to check that out though. Is it a
if
cartoon?
you were a
No.
10-year-old kid, yeah, you'd have nightmares. But it reminded me the same vibe Paranormal Activity gave me, where you just couldn't stop laughing at it.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
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 Family night movie, huh?
Hey kids, let's watch Winnie the
Great.
Pooh.
Hey, it's Christopher Robin.
Can you
Betty
imagine like
Christopher
back in the
Robin.
day of Blockbuster, like getting the wrong Winnie the Pooh? Put that in there. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so before we sign off, does anybody have any last things that they want to say? Because we have a special sneak peek of a peek of a new segment that's coming out next week that we're going to end on. But does anybody have anything else they want to say before we sign off?
About good, bad, ugly.
Other than Cats, thank you again for
Yes.
coming on with us.
Yeah.
You really are one of my absolute favorite people to talk to. Your mind is intriguing to me. And so I just really love just getting to chat. And the fact that I literally Cats was in a space and he was talking and I just was sitting there just listening and I'm like, hey Cats, when are you going to come on again? And he literally was like, well, when do you want me on? I'm like, oh, well, hell, like tomorrow, like anytime you want. But yeah, you're just so like, it's just so easy to talk to you, to work with you. Like, I just really enjoy our conversation and when you're on our podcast. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
Thank
Just have
you.
fun with it.
Yeah,
Ah.
it is definitely one of those deals where what you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
But then if there's anything hidden, it's all like nice. It's all good stuff. Like,
Right.
It's all nice.
yeah,
It's all
like
nice.
with Greg, that's not always the case. Like, he can be a pretty good dude, but
Obviously.
then there might be a little bit underneath there that you're like, But, yeah, see, I
Family.
feel like murder is coming.
Winnie the Pooh.
But, Cats, honestly, thank you very much. We do appreciate you. We're always in your corner, and we just can't say thanks enough. I feel like sometimes thank you isn't enough, and I always feel that way with Cats.
Yeah, he's
But-
genuine.
But sorry, Cats, I don't have another word because I'm not that smart. So,
It's true. No, I'm just joking. He's very
see,
intelligent.
there's that underlying Greg right there.
Yeah, you're
But
very
seriously, Cap,
intelligent.
thank you very much. We do appreciate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, appreciate it. It's like I said, I've watched your guys' journey. Well, Holly, I've watched your journey. I've seen your journey, and then obviously when you started this with the guys, and yeah, it you've come a long way from where you started, and hey, you're still here, which is the main thing. Because people come and go in this space, and it's nice to see those people that do mean a lot to me have stuck around. So yeah, I appreciate it. And I'll say is that when I won't say UK, but I'll say Europe. At least Europe's closer.
Soon. I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about just.
Actually,
Yeah,
we should figure that out
have one.
sometime. You'll be a tour guide if we show up.
Oh.
I can be a tour guide. I can do Europe because I don't have to pay expensive plane tickets to get to Vegas.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you
It
go.
was gonna cost me $3,500, well, pounds, to get to Vegas.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's just to get there,
I was like,
right?
that's just to get. That's not even
Yeah.
accommodation. That was just to get there because I don't know. Just flights were ridiculous. I could have probably flew to New York, Florida, somewhere down there for like half the price, but then I've still got to get to the other side of the country, which is probably another couple of $100. So I may have
Oh, yeah,
saved,
at least,
but
yeah.
it would have been like a 3-day trip just to get there. So
Yeah, we're pretty cool, but I don't know if we're that cool, Cats. I don't know that I would have done this. I would have probably done the same thing that and made the same choice. But I do have one last question for you, Cats. Is Holly a lot cooler now that she knows us than she was before she knew us?
Oh.
Josh.
Oh, he's silent. I know that answer.
Okay, yeah, great.
no,
So-
And we're done.
this is one of those questions that could get you in trouble.
that's kind of why I asked
So-
it.
What do they call that? Is that a catch-22?
Yep.
No, I think you should be like exactly the same.
There's the way out.
That's the cop out. That's the cop out answer.
No, I'll say that like Holly has come a long way from what I knew her back in the day when I first got into the space. It was not as bubbly. You were always passionate, but you weren't as bubbly.
Yeah.
So as I would say, with guys, it's brought the more. I'm not gonna say fun, but more.
Playful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
side of you. So yeah.
I would have to agree to that. Yep, I agree.
I threw that up there as kind of a joke, but I love the answer.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was a good way out of that.
So what Cats is saying is that Holly really owes us.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
who's the mean one here? Damn.
All right, guys. Well, stay tuned for a small little preview of a new segment that's coming out next week that I think people are actually going to love. Spotlight our little buddy here in the middle. It's gonna be fun. But have a great weekend and God bless.
Be kind.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.